Hey guys, this is Starry from StarrySky Gaming, and welcome to this Rage Tank skill point guide. Now this video is going to be looking at how I've done my skill points and why I've done it this way, so you can kind of get a rough idea of how to be speccing your Rage Tank skill point wise, and what to prioritize. Okay, so let's get started. So once you reset your skill points, the first thing you do is go put skill point in your movement. Do not forget to do that, because I've done it before when I first started playing this game, and when you've done your skill points and you go back and you're like, crap, I forgot my movement, and then you have to go back and redo it all over again. So first thing you always do when you reset skill points and respecking, always put your skill point in your movement, just so you don't forget. Okay, so first thing, in your super speed or whatever movement you are. Now, for people wondering, the main stat for Rage Tanks is dominance. The higher your dominance, the better health buff you get from when you use your powers, because every time you're using your powers, or every time you use a power, you're kind of increasing your health for Rage Tanking, which is nice. So basically, dominance. So what we want to do is we want to prioritize dominance, and then we go defense, and then health, and then basically it's just easy to show. So, because there's a few ways I've done this. Okay, so to make it clear, what I'm going to be doing is basically I'm going to show you the two tiers, which I call them. Now, all the stats are at the bottom of the weapon tree, so we're always going to go down the middle, and then there's two lines. Now, I call these tier 1 innates, and I call these tier 2 innates. So when I refer to something as like tier 1 dominance, I basically mean the first row at the bottom of the weapon tree, and when I refer to something as tier 2 innates, I mean the bottom row of the two rows in the weapon skill trees. Okay, so for all the skill points you have, currently I have legacy 161 legacy, so I have enough to spec into what I want to get. So what we want to do is, first of all, we want to go down all the weapon trees that have tier 1 dominance, and this we prioritize over everything else. So first of all, as you can see, I've gone into brawling, I've got down the middle, and I've put skill points in the tier 1 dominance. So what I want to do is I would go through the rest of the trees and find all the rest of the tier 1 dominance. Now, we started off in the brawler. There's another one in dual wield, so obviously down the middle, and then we fill out the tier 1 dominance there. Another tier 1 dominance in hand blasters down the middle, and then to the right. Now, I can't remember if there's 3 or 4 of them in the tier 1 dominance. So there's another one in staff, so down the middle, and then another one max out the tier 1 dominance in staff. So it looks like 4. Yep, so 4. Okay, so now we prioritize. We prioritize the tier 1 for dominance. This is what I want to say. Dominance is the main stat, and then I said defense and health. But first of all, what we want to do is we want to make the most of our skill points and get the most stats we can for the skill points. So what we do is we just don't go get all dominance straight away. We don't get the tier 1 dominance and the tier 2 together. We get the tier 1 dominance first of all, and then we get the tier 1 defense, and then the tier 1 HP. Because we're getting the biggest stat increase for our amount of skill points we put into them. So you've already seen me, I've already got all the tier 1 dominance. So then what I would do is I would find skill trees with a tier 1 defense, and I would go down the middle and I would max out all of these. So that's one there. Another one in dual pistol, so down the middle, and then tier 1 defense. Sorry. Another one in dual wield, so down the middle, tier 1 defense. Martial arts, down the middle, max out tier 1 defense. Staff, down the middle, max out tier 1 defense. And that would be all of them. So now we've maxed out all our tier 1 defense. We're going to go and max out all our tier 1 health. Okay, so down the middle, as you can see in two-handed, down the middle, and there's tier 1 health. tier 1 health in shield, tier 1 health in rifle, tier 1 health in hand blasters, tier 1 health in brawler, tier 1 health in one-handed. So now this has put our skill points in our primary tier 1 innates. This has given us the biggest stat increase for our amount of skill points. So now it comes to the tier 2 innates. Now the tier 2 innates give us like pretty much half of what the tier 1s would do for the skill points. So first of all, so now we've maxed out all our tier 1 innates, we go back and we prioritize the the tier 2 dominance, since this is our main stat. As you can see, the tier 2 dominance only gives us 2 dominance per skill points. This is why I said to prioritize the tier 1 innates for, because you get the most of your skill points. The tier 2, they kind of give you like half, or just a little bit less than half of what you get per skill point. So pretty much we need 2 skill points just to be equal to worth about 1 for the tier 1 innates. It's bad, but still it's an extra stat increase. So we put skill points in the tier 1 dominance. So it takes 6 to max out these. So there's one on one-handed at the bottom. Another one in dual pistols. Rifle, tier 2 dominance down there. Tier 2 dominance in shield. That could be it. No, it's not. There's another one in two-handed. Tier 2 dominance just down there, so max out that as well. And now that we've done that, we want to go and we want to max our next innate. Now there is no tier 2 defense innates. There's only tier 1. So now we go and max out the tier 2 health. Okay, so start from one-handed. Now, so tier 2 health is in bow, max out that. Tier 2 health in dual pistols. Tier 2 health in dual wield. Tier 2 health in martial arts. Tier 2 health in staff. And that would be it. Now for people who have more than enough skill points, I mean like more than me and all this kind of stuff, what I did is after I've gone and got all my, I should say main stats, as you just seen that all the ones I just covered there are literally the main ones you should be getting for rage tanking. You've gone and got your dominance, you've got your defense, and you've got all your HP innates covered. That's every single one covered. So what I did then is I went back and I went and filled out the rest of my movement tree. Got the resistances and then the breakout masteries. This is just because any resistance is always good for being as a tank, especially as a rage tank. For some reason, it seemed to get flung around quite a bit compared to ice tanks anyway. And I also want to put skill points in the breakout masteries. Now this is just personal preference for, because if I break out, you know, I like to feel like I'm getting some power back instead of breaking out and getting nothing out of it. Or at least with this, I get some power back from the breakout, even if it's not much. Every bit helps. So after I've done that, I still had a few skill points left over. So what I decided to do with them then, I think I had about 10 left over after that. Not 100% sure. But what I did after that then is I started to put some skill points into precision, because then it goes with the loadout I'm using to do with muscle recovery. Obviously, the more damage I'm doing with my weapon combos, the more healing I'm getting back. So I want to buffer my precision a little bit more. So first I went straight to shield and I put skill points straight into all the precision I could get. So that maxed out that one. And then I can't remember where it is, but I think I had 4 skill points left over. and I went and put that in some of the tier 2 precision. Yeah, right there. So I went and put it into precision. Now, this is just my personal preference. You can, if you want to put it in might because you're doing damage of might, then go ahead, it's up to you. But I just went ahead and I put the skill points in the precision for because of the weapon attacks, the amount of weapon attacks I do during my tanking, and I want to do more damage while Remorseless Recovery is buffed up, so I get a slightly bit more increase in it. So the more precision I have, the more chance I have to do damage, and the more chance I have to get a proportion of that damage as healing back. So for me, any more skill points I get, I am going to be putting it in precision. And that is it. Unfortunately, I have no more skill points to spec it, but I'm sure there's loads of you out there who have like 170, maybe even 180 plus. So anyway, guys, I hope this guide on how I've done my skill points for the race tanking is beneficial to you a lot. You know, if there's any other ideas that you may have that you feel are better for doing your skill points, please let me know. I'm always open to listen to other people's suggestions, because you never know, it could be better than what I've currently suggested. So, thank you very much for watching this, and until next time, I'll see you then.
Beware my power. Green Lantern's light!